How concerned should Americans be that this administration released 80 illegal aliens who are Tajiks with connections to ISIS-K, the same terrorist group that murdered 145 people in Moscow at the Opera House, came in with automatic weapons and mowed down civilians? Is that right?
This is why you need to pay attention to our border policies. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an intense discussion to dive into. Senator Ted Cruz just grilled a top Biden diplomatic nominee, and it's all about the safety of our homeland. We're talking about the release of criminals with connections to ISIS-K and how this could potentially put American lives at risk. Ted Cruz didn't hold back at all when he questioned Ambassador Jacobson. He kicked things off by asking her about the recent arrest of 8 Tajik individuals in the United States. These people were caught entering the country illegally and were later found to have ties to ISIS-K. Cruz was clearly concerned about why these individuals were released by the Biden administration in the first place. Cruz took aim at the Biden administration's border policy. He made it clear that he believes the open border is practically inviting terrorists into the country. Cruz specifically mentioned groups like ISIS-K, Hamas, and Hezbollah, arguing that the current policies are putting Americans at risk. So, let's get right into it.
I'm sure you've seen the news that broke this week about 8 Tajiks who came to this country illegally over the southern border were apprehended by the Biden administration.
Yes, sir.
Were quote-unquote vetted, and then were released. And they've been arrested this week because of their affiliations with ISIS-K and over concerns that they were plotting a major terror attack in the United States. In your experience, how dangerous is ISIS-K?
ISIS-K remains a threat both in the region to which I've been nominated and into the world, and also to our homeland. And
How concerned should Americans be that this administration released 80 illegal aliens who are Tajiks with connections to ISIS-K?
I am not privy to the intelligence or the law enforcement activity or really any of that. I have mostly read about this in the news. But I certainly think it's incumbent on all of us, all the agencies of the U.S. government, to protect our homeland. And
this is the same terrorist group that murdered 145 people in Moscow at the Opera House, came in with automatic weapons and mowed down civilians. Is that right?
It's my understanding that, yes, there were Tajiks involved in that operation in Moscow.
Well, I will say, I can tell you Texans are deeply concerned that the administration keeps releasing illegal immigrants with ties to terrorists, and we are living on borrowed time. I believe there is a higher likelihood today of a major terrorist attack in the United States than there has been any time since September 11th. And this administration's open border with 11 million illegal immigrants coming across it is an invitation for terrorists, for Hamas, for Hezbollah, for Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and for ISIS-K to come and murder Americans. And it is utterly indefensible. And yet today, the Biden administration is releasing yet more illegal immigrants into this country. They do it day after day after day. And we are going to see a lot more dead bodies as a result of it. All right, let's shift topics. A few weeks ago, Secretary Blinken appeared before this committee, and I questioned him about policy decisions made by the Biden administration, which have allowed $100 billion to flow to Iran, including access to a $10 billion pot of money involving Iraqi electricity in euros and dinars. This money enabled the Ayatollah to fund Hamas and Hezbollah. This money funded the October 7th terrorist attack, the single worst one-day massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. It is right now funding Hezbollah's push to trigger a regional Middle East war all the way through this morning. Ms. Gavito, you served for 2 years as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Iran, Iraq, and Public Diplomacy. Then you became the Acting Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for Near Eastern Affairs. What was your role in issuing the waivers giving Iran access to that pot of money?
So, there you have it, a heated exchange between Ted Cruz and Ambassador Jacobson that really brings to light the concerns about national security and border policies. Whether you agree with Cruz or not, the questions he raised are critical and deserve attention. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We've got plenty more content coming your way, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.